Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And this video is about separating the art from the artist, and it's really an absolute fascinating thing to look at. Now, separating art from the artist is just like so incredibly important if you want to appreciate art in 2021. I mean, it really is, because many artists have lost their mind and gone completely insane. An artist that I personally am absolutely really adored, artists and writers, they just lost their minds. And I think, we just need to acknowledge this. They've all gone crazy. Well, many of them have gone crazy. So we're going to be looking at a particular example, Bill Sienkiewicz again. Such a great artist, such an incredibly great artist. And I think the reason why this is so disappointing is because you feel with somebody as an artist, especially with a writer, right? You feel they have some elevated insight into the world, right? And for them to be crazy and delusional, it's sad. It's sad. I mean, especially as they have such incredible talent to bring such incredible moving beauty to the world, which I think Bill Sienkiewicz absolutely does, who I'm going to be talking about. There's been a weird uptick recently in liberal, progressive, social justice warriors, whatever you want to call them, being crazy in and around the comic book industry. What's going on is the comic book industry is essentially folding in of itself, like collapsing. The mainstream industry, the direct-to-market superhero comics, like it's basically collapsing in of itself, and they hated one life raft, which was called crowdfunding, and they particularly hated something called Comicsgate, which is an attempt to thwart their control, their totalitarian control, to stop and gatekeep any voice that they didn't like, any voice that wasn't insane with them, didn't share their complete insanity. So they absolutely hated it, and it made them crazy. This was all through 2017, 2018, made them like really crazy. Trump made them crazy like they've never seen crazy people before. Again, this is something we're going to be looking at, but now they got a lot more crazy because all the best creators in the industry have been given these very lucrative deals by this company called Substack, which I am starting up my Substack. Hopefully this week. I'm really, because I'm finishing off my Indiegogo this week, so I'm hopefully starting up my Substack this week. I'm really excited about it. It's basically it's like a blogging platform that you email your blog directly to your subscribers, and you have a pay section put in. So they've moved aggressively into the comic book space, seeing there's a massive market, and they've given really great deals to a number of creators, which has absolutely massively devalued these crazy people's control over the comic book industry, right? And they just gone absolutely out their mind. So they started sharing this thing by a guy called Bill Sienkiewicz from 2018. This unhinged rant, and it didn't really go the way they thought it was, right? They didn't really go the way that they thought it would go down. We're going to be reading there. And again, if you're not in the comic world, this is absolutely fascinating. I mean, I do a lot of Doctor Who videos, right? So this one's worth watching, because you get an insight how the same craziness has affected Doctor Who, has affected Star Wars, has affected Star Trek, has affected everything, right? Because bottom line is this: artists, while they may have unique ability and insight, are also human beings. And all human beings are it is possible for them to get mental illness, which I think is what I would describe as a reaction to the Trump government and the Biden government. I would absolutely describe that as mental illness. I'll show you. Look, I'm going to show you for yourself, and you, the people, can decide. Before we get into it, can you hit the like button? That'd be fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you very much. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit that subscribe button. My subscribers are moving on up. Very excited. YouTube hasn't really been stopping me of late, but if you are subscribed, make sure you're still. Actually, I'll take that back. YouTube probably still is throttling my subscriptions. and unsubscribing people left, right, and center. But I'm doing so well, I'm not noticing, right? It seems like, it seems like a slow Monday, so it might be, an incredibly good Monday for me. So it's so like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much. If you're not subscribed, if you can consider, that'd be really, really nice. Thank you very much. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think. I read all your comments and I reply to them. I think about the replies. That's why today's a bit daunting. Sundays are daunting because I've already got like double the amount of comments to do because I'm offline on Saturday. So it's one of the things that if you let build up and build up and build up, it gets impossible. So you've got to be on top of that every day. Like, share, subscribe, comment, and go check out my Indiegogo. Look, this is a comic book video. Maybe you want to check out my comics. Now, these are going offline soon. I mentioned earlier, they're going offline very soon. These are 2 graphic novels. You got biblical, Bible stories, atheists, gracious, rationalists, and rogues. And if you like Bill Sienkiewicz, there's a good chance you will like this. This is, when you make comics, you should really make things that you like, especially when you're starting. And this was the first book I did. It's a major tome. It's 220 pages long. It's kind of like one of the early Vertigo books. I wrote and drew it. It's fantastic. In fact, fantastic, if I may say so myself. It's very biblically accurate, but not preaching anyway. I wanted to get that kind of like Sandman-y, Swamp Thingy, Hellblazer-y feel, right? That's the early version of all those things. New cover, love this cover, and also I just rewrote the dialogue on like the crescendo, the around the last couple of pages. And I'm so happy with that, right? So it never really gelled for me. It was okay, but it never really had this time, this way through. I'm just about 5 years later, so I'm a much more experienced writer now. I wanted to have like a crescendo, like the end of Dark Side of the Moon, right? And listen, did I achieve it? I think so. But again, I'm somewhat biased. Buy the book, work it out for yourself. Oh, by the way, if you're one of the people who want to cancel me, buy this book. This is one of your last opportunities to buy the book because you're going to want to know the heresies that I'm saying. You're going to need to know. Stay informed, mate. Stay informed and buy my books to stay informed. The other book is the Imperium. This one has grown as well. This is 100 pages when we started. It's now 120 odd pages. I added 5 pages to the main story. I wrote this. Dominic Ratcho did the art. Fantastic artist. And if I get my Substack going and making money, this is the guy I'm working. This is the guy I'm working with because we're going to be doing more volumes of this. I just love his artwork. Right? It's just fantastic. So this is basically a love letter to Telefancy 1960s, James Bond, Doctor Who, Emmett Till, The Black Slab from 2001, and a monkey in a spacesuit, all together in one fantabulous, one wonderful super group. A bit of Prisoner thrown in, bit of Thunderbirds. It's just a lot of fun, baby. And there's a cool backup strip called The Ice Warriors. So then we got, if you buy both books, you get a bunch of extras. You get this poster, Noble Savages. What's the pin-up? Changed it to poster, because I love you guys, and you guys deserve more. Then you got all these postcards for the male gaze, keeping the British end up, party like it's 1999, don't even think it's citizen. I am thinking it. Was it No Hanky Panky in the TARDIS, Sensing Strong Emotions, Captain, and of course, the Force is female. It's so good. I'm going to zoom in. It's a bit of blatant promotion, but it's so good. Right? Okay, the Force is very, very female. Princess Leia, so relaxed and happy now being Jabba the Hutt's willing sex slave. Apparently, by the look on his face and her face. Silas, Bib Fortuna, not interested. Not that interested. I think he's gay, right? I got a feeling he's gay. But Silas C. Crumb is going to get crazy. It's going to get. So you get all of that stuff. You can buy the extras on their own, right? But I hope you buy the books. I think I'm throwing in another poster as well. I'm about $30 away from $9,000. So if we get that, I'll totally give her another poster. We got this one, Bohemian Time and Space, The Eyes Have It, and Great Balls of Fire. Go check it out. It's in the video notes now, and I think it's going to going offline this week. So if you want to get it, it's now or never, baby. It's now or never. Fine. Let's have a look at this article. So this is Bill Sienkiewicz, and again, I want to be really clear how much I adore Bill Sienkiewicz's work. It's stunning. He's done some great Joker pieces. He's done, but I'm going to start at the end of the article and then go back to the beginning. So the end of the article is Ethan Van Sciver talking about what Bill Sienkiewicz is doing. This is basically a rant an unhinged rant from, 2017, 2018. that because it's been reshared an awful lot, it got taken down for violating the community standards. Like, even Facebook turned around and said, dude, I think you're the bully, right? Yeah, I think, like, even Facebook, which they're not so pro anybody who doesn't share Bill Sienkiewicz's crazed outlook. And so I'm reasonably surprised that they did maintain their rules, right? It seemed like an unusual thing to do for Facebook. So Ethan asked either response to it. So I wanted to go for the response first, and then we'll go back to the initial post, which has been obviously been taken down. Why it's been shared a lot recently? Again, there's been a massive uptick since. You know what it is? It's the Poseidon Adventure. You ever seen the Poseidon Adventure? It's about a big ship that gets turned upside down, and the few passengers have to survive by climbing to the bottom of the ship, which is at the top, to get out. And it's like, most of them die on the way out, right? It's a disaster movie. But there's a bit, right, where they're in this at the beginning when the ship's turned upside down, and it's Christmas. It's Christmas, and there's a they're in like a airtight sealed room with the ballrooms has like an airtight seal on it, and people are climbing up this Christmas tree, to get to the roof or to get to the floor to be able to climb up to go up. Anyway, so and people are like, no, I'm not going. No. And then suddenly the windows break, and water starts flooding, and everybody starts trying to climb up the tree. And eventually the tree falls down. They all die horribly. So that's basically what's going on in the comic book industry, right? Substack was the tree, and suddenly everybody realized they're not getting the tap on the shoulder. Now, what really, really is a problem for them is if you don't get a tap on the shoulder from Substack, if you want to make money and want to make a living out of it, you have to produce good work, and you have to be nice to people and offer customer service, and you have to do things like not chase away half or most of your client base, right? All these things are things they've been insulated from in the as they destroyed the comic book industry. The funny thing is this. There's this thing recently with a guy called Dan Slott, who's a comic book writer, who I had the guy on my channel last night. He has the same sort of delusional outlook as Bill Sienkiewicz, and he posted something about like how much better life is now after Afghanistan, the fall of Afghanistan, than it was under Trump. Like, what's better? It sounded like that, and this guy just totally not nice, normal guy just listed like, this is bad, and just gave fact. This guy Dan Slott lost his shit in a way that you shouldn't lose your shit because you look like a schmuck. And so then he posted, he firstly said, everybody delete these posts because it gives them energy. No, what happened was he wants everybody to delete the post because he looked like a schmuck in them, right? This guy had Dan Slott his ass big time, and he wasn't even trying. He was just being polite and factual, right? So then Dan Slott said, you know what we're going to do? This is what you should do. You should don't respond to them. They love your response. If a rando turns up in your comments, I'm like, dude, this guy's in his 60s, right? This rando shows up in comments. It wasn't. He asked a question. This guy answered politely, right? Politely and accurately. He said, don't respond to it. Go through their timeline and try and find something you can report, because then maybe you can take it down. So, this is totalitarianism, right? It is pure and utter totalitarianism. Again, we're going to be reading the unhinged rant, in a minute. But the comic book industry, on the whole, has just ignored this awful behavior. As it shrunk. And there have been commentators that have expected them to stop this because it's destroying their business. And then was it your boy Zach? Your boy Zach put a video out and he says, "I think I worked it out. The management ignore people like this, which again we're going to see in a minute. They ignore them." Not because they condone them, and people like this take this as being condoned, being slapped on the back, like yay, good job. It's really just the industry's over, and they don't care, right? They like AT&T doesn't care about DC Comics, and it's like it's too little to even worry about, right? So to us in geekdom, we're like, comic books the most important thing ever, but in the corporate boardrooms, they're like they couldn't care less. So anyway, let's have a look at this. So again, Bill Sienkiewicz, such a great artist. Started off on New Mutants, and he really made his mark really, really, really quickly. Had a very distinctive style, very both painterly and photorealistic. Like you can see, like the artwork on this cover, New Mutants. This must be from the 80s. Just again, you probably can't see it on the video, but the brushwork is something that we really hadn't seen in comics. So this was one of his greatest book. Was it Elektra? Oh, this is from Elektra 2014. No, he did this book called Elektra Assassin. But again, these like highly completely painted books. This does not look like him. What? I don't know what that is. That Sienkiewicz? Oh yeah, this is pen and ink stuff. It doesn't have any of his better stuff here. That's a shame. So anyways, let's go to Ethan Van Sciver's response, which is just perfect. This is why Ethan Van Sciver, I would say, is the one of the predominant leaders of Comicsgate. Other than being entertaining and like his channel is extremely entertaining. It's kind of like it kind of reminds me of like Groucho Marx, from Let's Make, was it Deal, whatever his game show was, sitting around chatting. He's a funny guy who takes a piss sometimes. Okay, so one of the saddest aspects of becoming #Comicsgate and having my eyes open to the nature of cancel culture and what happened to my beloved comic industry was discovering how desperate and low IQ so many of my peers were. Again, this is why it's really painful to find out your artists have lost their minds. How could such gifted people be this ugly inside? We're going to see how ugly, okay? One in particular, a man who created many wonderful, strange images. It's so true. So true. And a wonderful, strange image. I love that. I absolutely love his work. Bill Sienkiewicz had become so deranged with lowbrow leftist politics. Yep. Every word he's saying is perfect, right? Every word is saying lowbrow leftist politics that he seemed to be seething with bovine, stupid hatred for transitory political figures or Fox News hosts. Yeah, they were all acting like I don't know, what's his name again? Tucker Carlson. I was going to say Chris Tucker. I was like, I bet it's not Chris Tucker. I think it's Tucker something. Tucker Carlson are actually evil people. I mean, look, I believe Biden's an evil person. I genuinely do. Seeing his complete lack of care for how he has really screwed up America. I was going to say Afghanistan. No, actually America. Like the images of those poor kids who held on to a plane to try and escape the Taliban. And the beatings, the rapes that's going on, it's terrible. I mean, it's so unbelievably terrible. And like his lack of care is horrible, right? It just anyway, that's just me for you. Many people will say, "Oh, wait, this is all Trump still." And like, look, wherever you're on the political spectrum, that's cool, baby, right? It's good that we can be different. Just Alan Dershowitz, fellow Jew, smarter than me. Alan Dershowitz said something many years ago, which is so right, and he was proved correct in every way. Don't moralize your political differences, right? Don't say somebody's immoral because they politically have a different outlook than you. It will destroy society. They moralize political differences, and it destroys society. I mean, I think it's fair to say Western civilization, America, is over right now. Can it come back? I don't know. I really don't know. It's not in the trajectory it's going. Low-brow leftist politics, which it was. I mean, everything they believe in and they get so seething about is stupid. It's lowbrow, right? That he seems seething with bovine, stupid hatred for transmitted Fox News hosts. He seemed possessed. Yeah. In 2018, at the height of the tension surrounding Comicsgate movement, they were apoplectic about Comicsgate. Comicsgate essentially was you were blackballed from the industry. You were not allowed to work in it if you didn't hate Donald Trump, right? And with a seething hatred, right? And so they went and they made their own Well, they made their own market, the Comicsgate, right? Which I'm trying desperately to glob onto. I will not tell a lie, right? And they hated that even more, and they then screamed it was full of racist, white supremacy, which is just patent nonsense. There's patent, and they always say things like known hate group. No, if it's known, you don't have to say it, right? You know, it's like, these are there's literally no substance to their derangement at all, right? So he and other comic pros are busy trying to impress each other with deranged and vulgar screeds about how this small group of customers and pros who oppose the omnipresent left-wing activism in comics. 100% accurate, right? 100% accurate. They wanted these people to vanish from the face of the earth because they had a different outlook. This year, Bill Sienkiewicz excreted a lengthy diatribe of vulgar, ugly, dishonest. It's always dishonest. And vile garbage for Facebook to be shared by other imbeciles. The reason this thing is being shared a lot right now is there's really only a few hit pieces about Comicsgate, and they always like link to the same art. It's like 3 articles, right? And they're all full of lies. And so I think they just needed something new to link to. So they linked back to this, which got it more attention, which is I think what got it taken down. In order to ensure everyone invested in interest in Comicsgate will be viciously excluded from whatever social circles they could gatekeep. Yeah, again. If your ideas are good, if your ideas are strong, if your ideas are valid, you don't need to be afraid of other ideas. But the truth is, they know their ideas are not good, are not strong, are not valid, but they want to believe them anyway. Because they're crazy, right? With a bizarre recent uptick in SJW social media interest in Comicsgate, probably owing to Substack contracts. That's the thing. They're not allowed to go after Substack because they hired some of the the politically correct people as well. They tried, but they got swatted down pretty darn quick. What's it? There's a good comics website called Down the Tubes, edited by John Freeman, who was the editor of 2008. Big lefty, right? Big. I wouldn't call him a social justice warrior, but a big lefty. Like his politics are strongly left wing, but he's a smart guy, right? He's a smart, which used to be. You could say somebody is of a different political persuasion to you without, and it was like there was no intimation that he was wasn't smart, right? It was about it. So people started like trying to cancel Substack straight away. He jumped all over that and put out all these Substacks that are of people in protected status or whatever. Probably owns a Substack mass exodus from the mainstream of the most popular creators. The Superman is gay scoop. Oh my god, they were seething. Superman is gay. They're making Superman gay. It's actually Jonathan Kent, which is Superman's son, is gay because, of course, because that's the only thing they can really do with white characters, make them gay. And they were so mad at him because they wanted to be the ones to say it. Say, ha! Superman is gay now! And because he scooped them, they didn't enjoy it. It was weird. And our continued success, they hate the success. Bill's ugly rant began to circulate again. Until Facebook removed it from the platform for profanity and bullying. Yeah, sounds like it's correct to me. Comicsgate has survived one of the most obnoxious abuse, some of the most obnoxious abuse at the hands of these people. The endless gaslighting, lies, and rumors, defamatory cruelty. In the name of what exactly? Diversity and inclusion. What an absolute repugnant lie. So true. So true. Your boy Zach again. Listen, I got a few of his comics, Joe Baker's. They not really my thing. I'm not really into like the 90s, big violent stuff. That's not books that I enjoy. But like, all the book was diverse and by diverse people because the world's diverse, right? It makes your life much harder if you say I'm not going to hire somebody, or I am going to hire somebody based on their identity. it makes the quality of the work always fall. There's a company that make radio plays on CD called Big Finish, and they've had a real push to make sure women are given writing spots for them over the last couple of years. So the problem is, Big Finish skews mostly male. I think, like, I would say 70-30 male, with 70% male, 30% female. It's my guess, right? It might be 80-20. But they to write for Big Finish, you've got to have a rough idea what they are. So they're pulling from that 20-30%. They're putting 80-90% of their writers from 20-30%. So what happens there is the quality just dies. The quality falls. Same thing here. If somebody was like, "Oh, I'm not going to hire a Hispanic person or a gay person or a black," your quality of your work will just nosedive. And when you're in a small independent publisher, you don't have, which is selling entirely on the quality of the book rather than the name of the creators. You just do not have the latitude to produce anything other than excellence, right? It's just the way it is. You don't have that ability, right? So his book is diverse, with diverse characters by a diverse creative team, because the world is diverse. Diversity and inclusion want an absolute Republican lie. SJWs want uniformity, control, and exclude and destroy anyone who opposes them. 100% correct. They become inhuman in all these efforts, as Facebook clearly and impartially decided yesterday. Very good. Yeah. I've learned to pity them. The most beautiful art used to come from people who are now too stupid to feed themselves. So yeah, they really are. I mean, like, again, working in mainstream comics means you're working on sub-poverty wages, if you're lucky, right? It's just what it is. Who exist to be exploited by large corporations who misdirected and dehumanized by the propaganda they help create. Comicsgate will win, of course. It's true. In the meantime, enjoy the small victory. Facebook, read the belligerent, stupid, awful, created by a lost sad man flailing with rage at his former customers and fans. I'm not rushing to get a Bill Sienkiewicz book. They decided Bill Sienkiewicz and his allies were bullies. Hashtag Comicsgate. So what is it? What is it that he said that got him banned from Facebook? Let's read the entire rant. To Comicsgaters! But also, their general friends and colleagues in arms, profuse profanity to follow. Be advised. Okay, so this is from 2018. To begin, I'm convinced Comicsgate chose me as a practitioner, emissary, evangelist, what have you, rather than the other way around. Again, Comicsgate is a hashtag. Nobody chose anybody. If you want to do a do a crowdsourcing campaign under the Comicsgate hashtag, and then go and promote yourself to Comicsgate friendly media outlets like Ethan Van Sciver's channel, like my channel, like whatever, like Yellow Flash, whatever. At that point you become Comicsgate, right? At that point you become Comicsgate. Perhaps that's why I tend to view most other creators through a similar lens. Whatever the actual reason people create comics, tell stories, live in this world, it's still a wonderful calling. Creators are family. Every voice is unique and necessary. Except, okay, fine. That said, I'm going to contradict myself. That said, comics sure as hell didn't choose the so-called Comicsgate contingent to promote hateful, misogynistic, and plain old ugly dogma. Citation. Well, I've read Cyberfrog. I've read Jawbreakers. What is the hateful, misogynistic, and plain old ugly dogma? There isn't any. There isn't any at all. This is your deranged fantasy because they voted for Donald Trump, and then you expected the world to fall apart, right? Here's what happened. Donald Trump won the election. You guys absolutely lost your shit in every way, shape, and form. You expected the world to fall apart. And it didn't. It prospered. And that made you more and more angry. It prospered, and we saw the greatest economy that we've ever seen in our lifetimes. Taken Biden 7 months to utterly destroy America. 7 months. Utterly destroy America. Everything they predicted would happen with Trump has happened with Biden, right? And they don't like it. Again, it's just reality, mate. Am I glad reality came out in the same direction as my prejudices? Yeah, I am. I'm glad reality tends to agree with me. That makes me feel good about myself. But if it didn't, it didn't. If I was wrong, I was wrong. Like, I'm a huge Doctor Who fan, right? And I really don't like the current Doctor Who, the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who. I think it's the antithesis of Doctor Who, right? I think it's absolutely awful. If it was successful, I'll be like, well, the world's moved on. It's not for me. I'll keep I'll keep watching the old stuff, but I'm really not interested in moving on because it's just not for me anymore. But what happened was the world roundly rejected it at the same time, right? Everyone said this is garbage because it was garbage, right? But if it worked, it worked. But it didn't. Reality, mate. Reality. No, these gators, you guys, you bought that ugliness all by yourself. Again, citation. What on earth? You're like, specifically point to something and validate your point because I don't think you can. To be honest, I just don't get your deal. Well, because you made it up in your head. You made up an illogical thing in your head, right? It's not real. You don't get the deal. Are you so insecure, so afraid, so tearful of the prospects of bearing the incel moniker? Well, it's not nice to be called names, especially when the names just don't fit. I mean, I've been called incel a bunch of times. I'm happily married and have been for since '96. And I have a reasonably good sex life. I like without going into too much details. I'm quite happy, right? I'm quite happy. So when somebody calls you something that's completely insane just to insult you, it's not very nice, right? So yeah, I mean, at least if it fit, if you want to call me Jew, fine, okay, call me Jew. But I don't think you'll do that because you'll feel bad about yourselves. And that's really the thing that you hate most in the world. By sharing creative space with somebody with more estrogen in it. Oh, I say, so they're being called an incel because they don't want women in the industry. No, honestly, I don't think anybody's unhappy with women in the industry. I think what they're unhappy with is an insistence of a quality of outcome, which therefore removes equality of opportunity, right? So it was about 20% female writers to 80% male. Then over the space of a year, that changed to 80% female, 20% male. No problem, fine. Other books still good? No, they're not. They're boring. They're not exciting books about superheroes in spandex who look fantastic, fighting each other and having noble moral conflicts. Right? They're normally about like a lesbian who sits around and eats for a bit and then meets another fat lesbian and they kiss. And that's basically that's what a comic book is like now. They're dull. They're boring. So there's nobody saying, oh, we don't want women in comics. No, we don't want shit, right? We want entertaining stories. There are many female writers who earn their place in the comic book industry and did an excellent job. Don't get your deal. Then that you are all somehow threatened by to your manhood or your livelihood. No, the livelihood is when you blackballed everybody who didn't hate Trump, right? It's not like, I think even if you voted against, or not for Trump, right? If you voted against, didn't vote, but if you didn't hate him, not good enough because you guys were out your freaking minds, right? I'd ask you to explain to me, but frankly, what I've heard from your call that actually bores me, as well as just plain pisses me off. I effing despise bullies and cowards. Again, you were the people that bullied them out of the industry, and then they said, well, if you want to go and make your own, go and do it yourself. So they did, and they did it well, and it was successful, and it actually showed you how much of a failure that your view of comics was. It was just an utter failure. To the extent that the industry is over, right? What you're promoting individually is not some divine creative dispensation. I've no idea what's talking about. It's just you being an arsehole. I don't know What is the divine creative dispensation? He's saying somebody's promoting their book and saying they like it. It's just you being collectively. You're a gaggle, a clan, potentially with a K, unsubtle as that may, as short as that may be. No, I am. We know that you're convinced that anybody that me, a Jewish rabbi, right, an Orthodox Jewish rabbi, is in fact a one of those naughty National Socialists that built lots of camps for me. That was really they built tons of camps for me in the 1930s, right? It was really nice of them. Not really. It's this deluded babble, right? From what a fantastic artist. A veritable bag's worth of douches. Whatever the name you give for your assembly, you're not the Avengers. You're still just a bunch of arseholes. Nobody thought they were the Avengers. They just thought they were making comics that people like. Comics isn't a boys' club. That's true. And again. Nobody's saying that it is, but when you change the demographics of the creators making comics and the quality falls dramatically, and then the industry folds, I think you've lost the argument. No? Maybe? Could be? Comics isn't a boys' club. This isn't a no insert ethnic group, gender, religion, sexual preferences here. Allow. Yeah. Again, citation. Give me a citation for why you're saying that. Nobody's ever said that. It's a meeting place, a forum for creators of all stripes, like real life legion of superheroes. So basically, what's going on is Trump won the election. Again, I keep going back to Trump because this is the only thing this guy thinks about. Trump won the election. He couldn't really deal with it. And so they made up reasons why he won the election. The reason they made up is America's intrinsically racist and evil. Again, completely fictional. And they thought this was an extension of the racism that had grown in prominence and taken over the country. So he thinks he's punching Nazis on Normandy Beach, right? It's like a real-life superheroes, like Justice League, only with pen and paper and Clintix and laptops. So you say you're not the Avengers, but we are Justice League. Okay. Stop being creepy, racist, misogynist uncles showing up at reunions and pissing in the punch bowl to disprove your beta standing. Again, just, can you link to anything that substantiates this? No, this is all a delusion. It's the delusion of an artistic giant, and it's really sad. What it is, it's the delusion of an artistic giant. Separate the art from the artist. That's really it. It's. I mean, look, artists have always had a tendency to be deluded. I mean, you look at the world in a different way, but like, this is just absolutely crazy. You would have thought having no real life example to like back up anything would stop you. No, it actually made them worse, didn't it? Stop being the weird cousin showing whose cousins showing weird cousins the entire world points to as definition of every comic book nerd stereotype. Or do it far away from us. They are! Stop being whiny, misunderstood victims, bitching about favoritism, intolerance, and sexism. But you're the abuser, invoking intolerance, sexism, and favorism. You're slinging inky black aspirations, obviously crying racism in your whiteout. You're damned right. Some corrections need to be made, starting with the guys in the mirror first. Again, just leave them alone to do their own thing. But you didn't, because you can't stand they were doing their own thing, because you wanted them dead. You wanted them vanished from the world, because their ideas are so awful they need to be wiped out from reality. Stop being awful ambassadors of the worst, for the worst of our natures. I think that's what you're being there. Stop being brown shirts. Again, you are closer to any totalitarian fascist than I've ever seen in any Comicsgate person ever. Stop being goddamn ugly dicks. Well, okay. And to rejigger an ugly phrase you sling at women, I'm instead going to channel it here in the spirit of my Aussie friends. Stop being insufferable, clueless cunts. Okay? The medium didn't call on you to be the best version of arseholes you could be. Neither do we. Knock it off. Again, what are you talking about? You insane person. Either step up or they did step up, right? And you lost your shit. We comics and the audience will be absolutely fine without you. Oh, really? Really? How old did that age? You were fine without us? Then why'd your industry fold? Now, like, you want to say, oh, it's COVID. Oh, totally COVID. Like I was going to say before about the Biden and Trump. They like to say, oh, no, this is all Trump's doing. Trump. No, mate. No. One ingredient that is missing amongst many when Trump was dealing with the Taliban was the Taliban was scared of Trump. Right, and they're not scared of Biden, right? So it's not, it's just not comparable. Same with you, mate. I mean, like, I'm sorry, reality is reality. Just about every other publishing industry survived COVID. You didn't. Yeah, it imploded. It imploded because you lost half your audience. You lost half the audience because you are doing this. We comics audience, we're absolutely fine without you. Really? Doesn't seem like it today, does it? And you won't be missed one damn bit. Well, that's true, but I think you are missing having jobs, right? One of the best purse puppies from mainstream comics is Mags Versaggio. Used to be a bloke, now he's I believe it's a woman with a penis, right? I believe that's where he is. Had a very, very fashionable identity, was given work upon work upon work upon work. In my mind, the work wasn't very good at all and didn't sell. And now they managed to get a deal for a TV show made out of one of their comics. It lasted one season, cancelled, and now they're I think Mags is doing a GoFundMe just to make ends meet for the basic necessities of life. Mags will never be able to start up a Substack account and make her own comics and make money out of it because she's not good enough at it, which is really the bottom line. And that's really what's going on. That's why they're freaking out. It is kind of fascinating to watch them run around with their heads cut off, flapping around. Personally, I just think this is part of the end of days. This is where I am in it. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.